Hello, hello, and welcome back to Noble. I am Fem. Thank you for coming back or for joining for the first time. We are going to get back into Noble. We're going to play with the Crankheim household again and see how far we get. We had a little bit of a division last time where we have to figure out now where we want to go. Don't want to deal with any of those. I still have to figure out, do I want to go to Lulata or Letgit? Letgit has these, but no title. Lulata has the titles. So we're probably going to go with Lulata because we do have the Baroness. We have a Count. We also have another Baroness and another Baroness. So we're going to go with this tree because they have more of what we need. So let's move on. I don't believe we have any people to marry. We do. I don't do tournaments. No, I think we're good. All right, let's continue on. All right, so what happened with this courtship? My liege, despite fierce competition, including a suspicious radiant maiden from afar, Averild, the second Crankheim charmed Adamgur with a heartfelt poem about lost chickens, prompting immediate engagement. Courtiers were left agape as Averill II kindly shared sweetmeats with rival maidens, earning universal admiration. Nice. Alright, we're going to send you over there. We did unfortunately have 2 deaths. If I remember correctly, they died from low health? Kind of low health. Oof, that sucks. Oh, let's see, did you have a pregnancy? My liege, after an impressively noisy ordeal involving enough screaming to wake the dead, Vila Crankheim brought forth a robust, legitimate girl, leaving Isactus II limp with pride and exhaustion. Local gossip now knows more about House Crankheim than they do their own kin. So they finally had a kid. Thank goodness, finally. Let's send you here, I guess. Oh, and there's another one over here. Send you over here because we did, unfortunately, our count died. Which means Lulata can get married again. I'm gonna send you to deal with that, seeing how you're all pregnant again. Alright, how did the wedding go? A press drop, no vows forgotten. My liege, just as vows were exchanged, the priest sneezed with such force that Wydolinus's elaborate wig flew into the wedding cake, launching a hidden pouch of coins straight into Averild II's lap. Incident was declared an omen of prosperity by the ever-practical entourage of House Sepwood. Spirits rose, contracts were signed, and Adamgur and Averild II sealed their union with broad grins and heavier coin purse. We now have marriage. Alright, the funeral for Rogerdas, my liege, as mourners wept, and a bumbling attendant tripped over their own robe. Godvinus Crankheim discreetly accepted a crate of turnips, payment for services rendered from a sheepish courtier, before the priest could finish mispronouncing Rogerdas's name. I need you guys to have kids, and you guys to have kids. Now, come on, let's do this. Alright, so you are now available for matchmaking. I don't have any young maidens, I'm sorry. Could do this. I don't know if I really like that option. Fighting competition, archer. Okay, I could do you, and you would be good, Vatha. Actually, I don't think you guys have had kids yet. So who's it going to then? It's gonna go to... Okay, I figured it was gonna go to Lulata II. She's 60, she cannot have any more kids. Well, then maybe I should get you married to him. Unfortunately, too late. We do have enough money where I could send it to someone else, if necessary. Evereld might be a good option as well. Okay. And we have a pregnancy here, so Elnora help, because you guys didn't even have kids either. Alright, how did this pregnancy go? My liege in a chaotic world of noble rivalries and power plays, Avila defied expectations and peacefully brought a healthy girl into the world. Who knew such a delicate flower could blossom amidst the thorny schemes of House Crankheim? Good. You guys can have kids continuously if you really want to. I need you guys to have kids and you guys to have kids. You can't have any more kids. You already had 3. You guys have kids. Alright. How did this one go? My liege, in the throes of agonizing labor at the House Crankheim estate, Everworld II could not bring the baby into the world. Aw, yet miraculously survived the ordeal. Adamgar, visibly saddened, eloquently consoled the household with poetic words of relief. I'm sorry. Alright, how did the coronation go? The Count's curse, an articulate haunting. My liege, at the grand affair, a well-placed chandelier swung ominously overhead, causing quite a few to eye it warily, yet the real drama unfolded below. As Everworld clamored for the title, "No, Lulata!" Conlon chose the moment to resurrect, eloquently debating their own demise whilst gesticulating with their ghostly arms. Meanwhile, a wildly gesturing Salolinus flung a ceremony dagger, accidentally finding its mark in Lulata III, who had just been declared the new count. Are you kidding me? Rude. Ugh. I was gonna get her married again, but, well, that's not happening. Dang it. Yeah, now it's gotta go to, who's it gonna go to now? So, Walelis? Okay, do I have anybody else that might be good? Actually, Good Fineness would be good for it, but I don't want to give it to him. I'm gonna give it to you. Alright, so what do we got for the competition? Steel clashed and egos shattered as Avatha narrowly bested Alarild, snatching the golden trophy with a sweaty grip. Meanwhile, a poorly timed jest from Alarild earned them an impending crossbow duel with Rorige, because why not escalate everything? The peaceful archer and the perfect shot. My liege, while everyone expected arrows to merely land on targets, Tully Baldry Crankheim sent one through an apple, balanced atop a squirrel, which promptly scurried off with Rorige's pride. Avatha polished their sword in approval, while the assembled courtiers now can't stop whispering about House Crankheim's newfound notoriety and unflappable archery. The golden trophy is now collecting dust on Tully Baldry's mantle, so he actually did pretty good. Careless Tully Baldry... he's promiscuous. I haven't seen him do anything that's really promiscuous. I'm gonna send you guys to that, which I'm not gonna have any kids, really. Oh, you're sick, darling. Your health is crap. Your health is better. Your mother can help you with that. I don't have a whole lot of money for that. And it's just a baroness, so I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. Oh, what is he? He's a count, right? Just a count, yeah. I don't have anyone to marry you to, unfortunately. Coronation. My liege, as the coronation crescendoed to a climax, Walelnis III leapt onto the podium with the grace of a particularly ambitious squirrel, snatching the late Lulata III's title and leaving a trail of astonished courtiers in their wake. Now House Crankheim has gained some notoriety. Nice. I'm gonna actually send you, I believe, because you're gonna get me the most. What happened here? Not much of anything. Oh, are you kidding me? How did you get into a duel? I'm gonna help with that. We need wit for that. How's your wit? Is it better than his? Not really. Your wife has better wit than that. Alright, I don't think we have anybody we can marry off. So who's this going to? Wellness again. Wit. So his wit is pretty good. Hers is meh. I mean, I could do someone else. I don't really have anyone that's really good with that, so I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. Yay! Congratulations, you got pregnant. Let's do that. Still no titles over here, so, you know. How did the duel go? My liege, in a spectacular display of unluckiness, Sitlina managed to trip on a root, misfire a bolt, and still humiliate Gretus III, who now wears shame like an ill-fitting tunic. Even the local crow looked embarrassed on Gretus III's behalf. Sorry, Gretus, you asked for that, I guess? Maybe? I do have someone... I do not have any real eligible maidens. That would be perfect. I'm just going to give it to you for now. Pregnancy. My liege, amidst the laborious groans and the anxious pacing of Adamgar, Everworld II, Crankheim quietly delivered a healthy, legitimate boy. The meek Everworld II even apologized to the midwife for any inconvenience caused by, well, childbirth. So she's meek now, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. So... yeah, I didn't have anyone. I still don't really have anyone that would be good. And if it went to Elnora, she's gonna die soon, I know that much. I would rather just leave it. Alright, farm dues. My liege, while wandering the muddy paths of House Crankheim, while Elness III announced a count's surprise inspection, prompting peasants to hand over every last goat, barrel, and trinket for fear of a second visit. Rumor of the windfall now has other houses peeking over the hedges. Now, if you two could have children, I would be most appreciated. My liege, with a wink and a poem so dreadful it nearly wilted the court roses. Eomen Frey III, Crankheim managed to win. Ayusi Gretuheim's hand, much to Clorosi's horror, and somehow House Grutenheim's trader ledgers have not recovered since. We go there. How's your illness? Avila. As Avila, the second language embedded distant uncle, conveniently perished elsewhere, leaving an absurdly heavy chest of coin for House Crankheim. Sorry. Revived by both tunic and fortune, Avila the second now rises richer and annoyingly chipper. I'm glad that she survived. She still does not have very good health, so I don't know how well that's going to go. I would love to have somebody for this, but I don't have anyone for that. I don't have anyone for you, my dear. Alright, that one had nothing. The coronation. My lieges, the master of ceremonies, finished their pompous speech while Elness the second blurted out an enthusiastic about time with social grace akin to a clumsy ox. They laid claim to Lulada III's title, leaving all astounded by their audacity. He does have kids, so that will go to the kids. Robbery. My liege, as Gibgage and their ragtag bandits demanded tribute, Eorman Frey II distracted them with a raucous jig atop the carriage, causing loot to be swapped for a crate of fine wine. Never underestimate the power of merry dancing during a robbery. Good. Okay, so... Right, you could... I don't like your stats, but... Let's go with you for now. We do need that. Unfortunately, the count is busy. You can help. Who can go? I'm gonna have you go, my dear. Alright, how did this wedding go? After a stunning display of forced smiles and cold, clammy hands, Eomen Frey III and Ayusi were reluctantly bound in wedlock. Reluctantly, that's not good. Meanwhile, of creative mediocre apples found its way to House Crankheim as a gift from Ayusi's ever-thrifting aunt. So, okay, that worked out pretty well. I am going to lose that. Oh, I love her crest. It's so pretty. I love how they have different, like, crests and stuff behind it. It's really cool. This is, I believe she was part of House Crutenham. Yeah, so she was this one. And I do not have a count to do that right now. He's busy dealing with the A match. Shoot. I'm gonna have you do that one. I do not have anyone for you, my dear. Courtship. In a dazzling display of diplomacy at the courtship in House Winchester, Wellness the second serenaded Miss Socia with a charming tale of dragons saving, prompting an engagement. To cap it off, they even brokered peace between quarreling courtiers over who should refill the mead. And I don't know how well he's going to end up. I want you two to have babies. Jeez Louise. These ones get to stay behind. Don't know if I'm gonna get him for that. Death. So who is it? It was Tully Baldry. Okay. We're gonna lose some of these people soon. Yep, there they go. They are now let geheim. Okay. Alright, how did this go? A generous purse left near cupidity. As Avila Crankheim departed the lavish halls of House Grutenheim, a trail of crumbs left by an overeager pastry eater lured them to set down their finely embroidered coin pouch. Sensing no danger, Avila wandered off to debate philosophy with Minstrel, and to return and discover the purse had vanished, surely now lining the pockets of some delightful opportunistic kitchen boy. Weird that was like, looked good, but not. My liege, with an ungodly amount of groaning and screaming, Everald the second had a difficult but successful delivery, giving birth to a healthy, legitimate boy. Yay. Exhausted proud parent, Adam Gurr couldn't contain the jolly grin as they gazed upon their newborn son. Fabulous. My liege, as the news of Hereward Crankheim's grave illness spread like wildfire, Hereward lay in bed, their life hanging by a thread. But lo and behold, they defied all odds and made a miraculous recovery, leaving House Crankheim with an air of newfound prestige among the other houses. Shocking. Alright, nothing happened with that. And how did the Aerial antics amidst the pheasants as the feast at the house Grutenheim estate reached a fever pitch. Reda Letgeheim stunned all by somersaulting into the hall, narrowly avoiding a flying roast pheasant. With goblets clinking and a merry band playing, Ulysses II couldn't help but be impressed by Reda's audacious antics. Thus, unorthodox display has certainly cemented a newfound trust between House Grutenheim and House Letgeheim. My liege, as the feast plates piled high, Avila II inspected every goblet for spots and relied every fork before departing, leaving even the random servants too nervous to sneeze near that silverware. Okay. The gilded grin. My liege, as Godvinus bid adieu to Ulysses II at the opulent feast, they couldn't help but smirk, knowing that their cunning wit and charm had effortlessly charmed a significant amount of gold from the pockets of unsuspecting guests. With pockets jingling and a mischievous glint in their eye, Godvinus graciously made their exit from the feast, leaving behind a trail of whispers and admiring gazes. Oh, fabulous. You're sick again, my dear. Why do you continually get sick? Who can go to this? Let's have you go, my dear. I still need this to happen, and... Okay, how did the wedding go? My liege, at the wedding, Wellness II and Mososha exchanged vows under a mysteriously tilting cake, culminating in wedded bliss. Meanwhile, Wellness II's ill-timed jest about Gimofaris II's hat invited an impromptu crossbow duel, making it unforgettable. Oh, are you kidding me? I can't even get the dues because you keep doing stupid things. Damn it. I don't even have any kids here. I have these kids and I can't do anything with them right now. Jeez, come on. Have kids, you two. Ah, my gosh, it's so frustrating not having any kids from you guys. Sheesh. I already sent him for that. Okay. My liege, during a crossbow duel outside the house Crankheim estate, well, unless the third Crankheim Count of Redford cleverly sidestepped as Gimmerfaris II managed to shoot their own foot, then their hat, and finally their own heart, leaving the sheep and onlookers gobsmacked. Okay. The Marquee killed himself. My liege, a crossbow bolt for Wellness II nicked a passing merchant's cart, prompting the startled trader to hand over a crate of olive oil to appease Mososha Crankheim. Somehow this now counts as a victory for House Crankheim. Okay. And then he dies. Are you kidding me? Ah, dang it. Avila, after weeks of coughing up more phlegm in a tavern wench, his tankards, Avila, the second Crankheim, finally succumbed to the endless. I knew she was going to. She was very low on health, granting House Crankheim a sudden spike in notoriety as the estate servants scrambled to find anyone who could locate a pulse. Yeah, her health was really low. Her sister Marbel is actually much better health-wise, so she might survive. But I need you guys to have kids. I know you can't have any kids, and he just died, so I can't even remarry you. And I can't even do this right now because you guys are busy, and I can't do this because you died. Because you gotta do a stupid duel. Oh my gosh. I guess I shouldn't have gone with this one. Go figure. Feast. To the bafflement of Rugesi, Saitilna cowered under the grand dining table at the mere sight of a roasted boar's head. Truly, even the bravest knight would shudder at such a fearsome garnish. The gilded grin, as well as bid adieu to Rugesi at the opulent. They couldn't help but smirk, knowing that they're okay. Again, with the money on this one. So we got away with some money. Finally! The footer's his fortune. As Alnor bid a well to seaward at the grand gates of House Grutheim, a sudden gust of wind blew their hat right off their head. Before they could react, the hat graciously landed on the head of a passing dove, who strutted away as if it had always been its rightful possession. The entire courtyard began to laugh, and Alnoa's reputation as the luckiest noble in land grew even stronger, much to House Grutheim's delight. I do believe I can send you to do that for me. And at the funeral, as the solemn funeral for the dearly departed Wellness II drew to a close, Mososha made sure their exaggerated lamentations were heard by every guest, somehow boosting House Crankheim's reputation amidst the grief-stricken atmosphere. Alright, so I'm going to send you, my dear, to help them. Hopefully that actually works out. Alrighty, what we got going on here? My liege, in the midst of an uproarious quarrel at the House Crankheim estate, Avila attempted to mediate between Isactus II and Gulna. Their heroic, albeit hilarious, futile efforts have made House Crankheim the talk of all other houses, which they seem to be constantly. Alright, so we need wit. Her wit is pretty good. Honestly, I'm going to leave it alone. It'll resolve itself, I'm going to say. Alright, please have a child. My liege, as the halls of the House Crankheim estate echoed with screams of childbirth, Satilna, the first Crankheim Baroness Briar's Hold, finally expelled a squalling bundle of joy. Yes, fine. Satilna held their head high as they proudly presented their healthy, legitimate son to the world, to the bemusement of all. So we now have a Wellness the Fourth. Good. Alright, so what do we got for the farm dues? Upon discovering that most of the peasants had barricaded their cellars, hidden their apples in chicken coops, Alnora, first Crankheim Baroness of Thornbear, secured every nook and cranny until gathering a pitiful haul, yet earned the rousing moniker Alnora the Indomitable for refusing to give up. You would think she's lucky that she would be able to, I don't know. Alright, who is it supposed to go to? So it's going to go to his son. Charisma. I don't really have very many people that have charisma. And how's your charisma? Oh, much higher. Shucks. We do have Mizosha, who does have a lot of charisma. So I'm actually going to put her in there as well because she could be very useful. Alright. Nope. Alright, so what do we get for this? Coronation. Countship, cruelty, and the olives of spite. My liege, with the ink on Wellness the 2nd, 3rd Crankheim House of Redford's will barely dry, Wellness the 3rd, 4th Crankheim Baron of Rosegate keep paraded through the hall clutching a basket of olives and reciting every slight halota of House Winchester ever uttered. Declaring the countship theirs, Wellness the 3rd snatched the title and a crate of suspiciously spicy olives, then forced random courtiers to eat them, delighting in each coughing fit like a vulture at a banquet. So he did get it, yay. So he's the Count and the Baron. Have more kids, please. Please. Alright, who's gonna go to this? 1 second. Nope. I send you to that. The feast. Send you guys to the feast. And Mizosha. Alright, so how did this go? During a visit to the House Winchester estate, Gunla accidentally knocked over tables, sending valuable trade documents flying into the fireplace. Thus, House Winchester's trading power went up in smoke, literally. Dang. Nothing happened to that, and the feast, amidst the uproar and merriment of the feast at House Grutheim, Adias Actus II swiftly excused himself, fleeing from the raucous crowd as if the very walls were about to collapse. How delightful to witness Gretus III's rationality in escaping such a mind-numbing spectacle. A feast to remember. As Mizosha bid adieu to their delightful host, they accidentally tripped over a peacock feather, causing an entire tower of cheese wheels to come crashing down upon them. The resulting cheese avalanche created a spectacle of epic proportions, with Mizosha emerging from the cheesy rubble unscathed, and the laughs that echoed through the halls of House Grutheim, cementing their place in House Grutheim's heart as the clumsiest and most entertaining guests they have ever encountered. So you're clumsy. No, it doesn't say you're clumsy. Intriguing. Ah, really? Now is not the time for that. And I knew someone was going to die. Dang it. Alright, the trade tolls, you need to go to that, and you fudge. I guess go there. I guess you can do that. We're losing a lot of people, and not gaining a lot of people. Shucks. Another one. Alright, how did the duel go? With a wink and a flawless shot, Lawless. Second Winchester Marquee of Rithmo knocked the feathered hat clean off of Vila's head, then gallantly helped them up before the assembled crowd who watched as Vila sank into a puddle of pure embarrassment. Fun. Can't even marry anyone off right now because we only have 2 people possibly of the age. And stop getting sick, guys! My liege, with an entourage larger than a wedding procession, Satilna sweet-talked every peasant from here to the riverbank, departing with double the usual goods, and, if gossip is to believe, twice as many blushes among the villagers. And then the trade tolls. After a week haggling with a flock of merchants who claimed their goats were nobler than Wellness the 3rd, 4th Crankheim, returned with a single, suspiciously aromatic sack of onions, just enough coin to buy a round of meat on discount. Ugh. Shoot. Yes, I knew that was going to happen, so it's going to go to Wellness. Charisma. You do not have very good charisma there, Wellness. I don't really have anybody other than Miss Sosha that possibly has good charisma. And I can't really get her remarried. She died. Alright, coronation. The most astonishing display at the coronation was the third trembled in December through a speech declaring Elnora's title theirs, despite their visible cowardice. The master of ceremonies begrudgingly placed the baron's crown upon their uneasy heads. So he's a baron and a count. Lovely. So let's have you go to that funeral. Oh, there's another funeral in House Letgheim. Guess I'll have you go there. And I don't have any eligible bachelors. Avila, confounding the grim predictions of every servant and even the doctor, Avila demanded a cauldron of boiled nettles and a diet of garlic, miraculously rising from bed just as the estate was dividing up there. Her health is actually pretty good. I don't know why she got sick so much, but I guess people do get sick. Alright, how did the funeral go? Mere display of tranquility, Wellness the Fourth sat serenely at the funeral, paying respects with a calm demeanor while avoiding the priest's sermon like it was an overcooked stew. Meanwhile, the rest of House Crancombe were far less restrained in their grieving. Okay? Another one of those. Alright, what do we get? Nothing for that. So, I do have potential. He has really good charisma, very low wit. Sure, I'll do it. I'm going to send you to that. Wish I could have more kids. I guess I'll send you guys here because I don't think she can have any more kids. She's 51. The funeral, while attempting to outdo the courtiers with a display of extravagant mourning at Status's funeral. His name is Status. Miss Osha accidentally slipped a rather pricey ring into the donation bowl, confusing it for the bread basket. Oof. Okay. I don't have any eligible bachelors at the moment. Feast. As the feast at the House Letgeheim estate raged on, Averil II managed to spill an entire goblet of wine on Wellness IV without a second thought. I guess returned home in a sticky, red-soaked attire, thoroughly unimpressed. As the hall of House Letgeheim estate roared with revelry, Satilna bravely navigated the sea of merrymakers with a toast and a smile. Satilna secured a hearty alliance, making House Letgeheim notably happier and more trusting of House Crankheim. Nice. Let's send a Miss Osha here for that. Yeah, we're not going to have any more kids. Dang it. After Marbil serenaded Adavasi with an impromptu ballad about goats and inheritance, the bachelor from House Grundheim eagerly agreed to an engagement. The court cheered, no doubt relieved to see such an enterprising spirit from a guest. Nice. I'm going to send you over there, Wellness the Fourth. And farm dues. I'm going to send Wellness because he's better at it. No. Oh, I wish I could, but I don't have any eligible bachelors. Or bachelorettes, I should say. During the wedding of Marbil and Adavesi, an inebriated servant mistakenly dropped a heavy pouch of gold onto Wellness the Fourth lap, who graciously accepted his gift from the heavens. Thus, House Crankheim came out richer. Just as Marbil prepared to seal the deal, Adavesi tripped over Avila, and an exceptionally saucy servant locked in a scandalous embrace behind the altar, promptly sending negotiations in the wedding into utter shambles. Ooh, that actually makes me happy because maybe then I can send you here. If you wouldn't have gone to a funeral. My word, enough funerals. Jeez, I know you guys are getting old. Alicia, after an arduous collection across the House Crankheim lands, Wellness the Third gathered every last horse, log, and lump of iron, only to discover Kratic chickens mysteriously replaced with squawking geese by a particularly mischievous village elder. Interesting. Could have him marry her, but she's gone too soon. Or her. Ooh, perfect. Let me have you go for her, and you go for him. Motritos. Yes. You go with him. Alright, how did this go? Fortune tellers and foolish vows at House Alistair. With a purse full of crumbs and an eye for omens, Isactus II Crankheim barged into House Alistair's soothsayer-infested ballroom, demanding a prophecy on matrimonial prospects. Encouraged by the dubious nods of 3 fortune tellers and 1 highly suspicious goat, Isactus II knelt before Alrilla II, first Alistair Baroness of Fallowmere, and blurted out a vow grander than a midsummer harvest. Somehow, Alrilla II accepted. Now the kingdom is abuzz, and House Crankheim enjoys a glimmer of respect. Nice. died? Someone in another place. Alright, how did the courtship go? My liege at the House Winchester court, while other maidens performed dreadful lute serenades, Marbil Crankheim boldly recited tax codes to impress Lottis the second Winchester Marquee of Wraithmore. Apparently charmed by such riveting fiscal knowledge, Lottis wisely agreed to the engagement, securing House Winchester a clever alliance. Nice! Alright, so this is where we are going to end. We shall see how both of these marriages go, because Marbil's first marriage did not go through. Some saucy action happened, so we shall see if Isactus II can marry the Baroness, and if Marbil can marry a Marquis, which would be nice, because then we would have a Marquis in our family. We are mainly trying to get to Generation 6. So thank you guys for watching, and if you liked the video, please like it. Subscribe if you can, it really does help me out. And I hope you guys enjoyed everything else, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye!